All right, today we're going to do something that sounds, well, pretty much impossible. We are going to pull the code of life, actual DNA, out of a living thing and see it with our own two eyes. And the best part, we're going to do it using stuff you probably have in your kitchen right now.
I mean, think about it. DNA is supposed to be microscopic, right? It's the blueprint for everything hidden away in these tiny, tiny cells. So how could we possibly see it? Well, what if I told you that in just a few minutes, we're going to make that invisible code visible?
And this is our secret weapon. Not some high-tech gadget, not a fancy microscope, just a strawberry. This little fruit is absolutely perfect for what we're about to do, and you're going to see exactly why.
Okay, so first things first, every great scientist needs a lab. So let's gather up our equipment and turn your kitchen counter into a state-of-the-art laboratory for a pretty major scientific breakthrough.
Here's everything you're going to need. So go on, grab these things. A strawberry, of course, a plastic bag you can seal, a little salt, some dish soap, water, a coffee filter, any clear glass or jar, and this part is super important, some cold rubbing alcohol. Seriously, pop it in the freezer for a little while before you start. It makes a huge difference.
All right, is your lab all set up? Good. Now for the really fun part. Our first mission, should you choose to accept it, is to break into the strawberry cells. And to do that, well, it's going to take a little bit of brute force.
Go ahead and put your strawberry into the plastic bag. Squeeze out as much air as you can and seal it up nice and tight. Now for the next 2 minutes or so, just start mashing it. Squish it, crush it. We're trying to turn this thing into a really pulpy strawberry mush.
Now, we're not just making a mess for fun. There's some real science happening here. You see, every single cell in that strawberry is protected by a tough outer layer called a cell wall. By mashing it all up, we are literally smashing those walls to pieces so we can get to the good stuff, the DNA that's locked away inside.
So, we've broken through the first line of defense physically. Now it's time to bring in the chemists. We need to whip up a special extraction solution that's going to break down even more barriers, but this time on a microscopic level.
So, in your glass, or maybe a different cup, just combine your water, your dish soap, and the salt. Give it a gentle stir, just enough to get that salt to dissolve. Try not to make too many bubbles, so nice and easy does it.
It seems like a weird mix, right? But these simple kitchen ingredients are now our precision scientific tools. Each one of them has a very, very specific job to do.
Think about it. What does dish soap do? It cuts through grease on your dishes. Well, inside that tough cell wall is another barrier called the cell membrane, and it's made of fats. So the soap just rips that fatty membrane apart, letting the DNA spill out. And the salt? The salt is just as important. It helps all those tiny little strands of DNA start to clump up and stick together, which is going to be key in just a minute.
Okay, you ready? Time to combine forces. Go ahead and pour that solution you just made right into the bag with the strawberry mush. Seal it back up and just gently squish it all around for about a minute. We want to get everything nice and mixed together.
So what we have now is this soupy mix of strawberry guts, seeds, and somewhere in there, our precious DNA. The next step is all about getting rid of the junk so we can zero in on our target.
Okay, take your coffee filter and just place it over the top of your empty glass, kind of making a little pouch. Now, carefully pour all that strawberry goo from the bag into the filter. This part takes a bit of patience. Just let it sit and let that liquid slowly drip, drip, drip into the glass.
So what's happening right now? Well, that coffee filter is catching all the big stuff. You know, the seeds, the pulp, all the chunky bits of cell that we don't need. But our DNA, which is now dissolved in that liquid, is tiny enough to pass right through the filter and collect in the glass down below. This is it. This is the moment we've been waiting for. Everything we've done, the smashing, the mixing, the filtering, it has all led to this final, amazing step. We are about to make the invisible visible. You got your filtered strawberry liquid? You've got your ice-cold rubbing alcohol ready to go? I hope so, because what happens next is pure kitchen magic, and it's backed by some seriously cool science.
Okay, now watch this part carefully. It's really important. You want to tilt your glass a little bit, and then pour the cold rubbing alcohol very, very slowly down the inside of the glass. The goal here is to create a separate, clear layer of alcohol sitting right on top of the red strawberry liquid. We do not want them to mix.
So why on earth does this work? It's a scientific process called precipitation. See, the DNA was perfectly happy being dissolved in that salty, soapy water solution. But one thing DNA absolutely cannot stand is being in alcohol.
So the second that DNA touches the cold alcohol layer, it's instantly forced out of the liquid.
Just look. Look closely at that line where the red liquid meets the clear alcohol. You should start to see something forming. A cloudy, ghostly, white, stringy substance. It's happening. There it is, the building blocks of life.
Let's just take a second here. Take it in. And let's talk about what exactly it is that we've just created, what we're looking at floating right there in that glass.
That cloudy, stringy stuff, that is DNA. It's not just one strand, of course. It's millions upon millions of strands all tangled and clumped together, which is what finally makes them big enough for us to see. That is the actual genetic code that told that strawberry how to grow, what color to be, everything.
I mean, let that sink in. You just used dish soap, salt, and rubbing alcohol to pull the fundamental instruction manual for a living being right out of its cells. You can even take a toothpick and gently spool some of it out. It's incredible.
See, science isn't just something that happens in faraway labs with people in white coats. It's right here. It's in your kitchen, just waiting for you to get curious. You've just seen, with your own eyes, the code of life. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What will you discover next?